Very
Okay.
nice to see you. I think the talk here is about a little bit about your life, how you
Okay.
live your life. And actually, today, as you're an expert in sports and nutrition and health and also wellness, I think it's super interesting for people also just to see how or kind of tips you can give, things, routines you live through the day, and a little bit you journey maybe into it, and how then tea a little bit is or takes its role into in your life or daily life.
Okay. Awesome. So quickly, when I graduated college, I went into like the talent industry. So
Yeah.
modeling and talent, and I owned my own agency for like 5 years.
Mm.
And I didn't like what came about it. I didn't like the people and I didn't like the greediness and stuff. So
Mhm.
I took my first fitness class and I fell in love with fitness because everyone around was happy and positive and healthy. So I switched over. So that was 2005. So 15
Mhm.
years I have
Mhm.
been in the health industry. So I've been teaching classes. I managed gyms. I was a personal trainer.
Mhm.
I went from gyms, I went to schools, and I would teach kids yoga after recess to kind of calm them down before the teachers would do class with them.
Mhm.
I would also teach in like the churches, and so I was all over the place. And then I had kids, and I tried to go back to the gym, and just it got too hard. But during this whole thing, I love coffee, but I can't drink it. Okay. I love a warm cup of something. Like it's how I want to start my
Uh-huh.
day. I love it. And so going to the gym, I would always pack like a big thermos of tea. And
Mhm.
at that time, and that was like mid 2000s. So I didn't know I was doing the bags, okay, the bag
Yeah, yeah.
tea. But I loved the way that it felt because coffee just made my heart have palpitations and it just didn't make me feel good. So fast forward a little bit. Once I had kids, um, I was going to Starbucks a lot because I had kids. But what I was finding out is every time I go to bend over and grab a child, I would get really dizzy. And so I figured out again, like my body just can't handle that type of caffeine.
Mhm.
It's just not good.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to have, to enjoy a warm cup of something.
Mhm.
So I moved 4 years ago to where I am now. And next to a Trader Joe's, there was a tea place.
Mhm.
And I walked in because I wanted to know the difference between a loose leaf tea and the bag.
Mhm.
So I bought everything. I bought everything you could, for Tea 101.
So
And
how was it
then,
then? How was it then when you came in? Because often here in Europe, when you walk into a tea store, there's some knowledge there. How did they kind of introduce you? Maybe that's interesting also for people to see, like, what's a little
right.
bit, or what were you looking for? Did you just go in, hi guys, I want to buy loose leaf teas, and then they said,
No, so they had like a thermos outside where
yeah.
you could pour a little cup.
Hmm.
So I poured a little cup of, it's called turmeric bliss. So it has turmeric and ginger in it. And I was like,
Hmm.
ooh, that sounds amazing. So I tried it and I was like, okay, this doesn't taste like any tea that I drink. So I
Hmm.
walked in and they had all of the iron steel, the iron ones,
Yeah,
is the iron?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So,
still kind of.
yep. So I had all that. So I bought a bunch of loose leaf.
Hmm.
And then like a month or two went by and I needed more. And when I
What
went
did you
in
buy
there,
as a first tea? What's the
yes.
first tea you bought?
So my first it was called the turmeric bliss. So it
So
was
you
just,
actually bought the tea you tasted.
yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a big thing of it and I bought all the stuff to make the tea in, even like the little glass cups to do an individual one. Like I was all set on doing that.
Mhm.
The next time I went in, someone was there that was working that knew so much. He's not there anymore. He was just this young kid that was just like a tea guru and he knew everything. So he is the one that introduced me to matcha. I have no idea where he is now, but he is the one that told me, I mean, what time of day to drink it, what the temperature is. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
So that's when I bought all the stuff to go with matcha. And that was like what I was waiting for. When I was drinking the loose leaf tea, I still really like that. But
Hmm.
I had to wait a while for that, 10 to 15 minutes for it to steep. And then by that time, my kids are up and it's cold but the matcha, I'm able to like make it and it's not too hot, you know, because you're not boiling it. It's not too hot. So I'm able to actually sit and enjoy it while I'm reading a book. And I'm very big on my morning routines. And I like to encourage my clients and customers, you know, that a morning routine is very important for your day. So that's probably why you see my matcha all the time, because it is part of my day. So I don't get any jitters or palpitations or a lack of energy. I feel amazing after it. So I've never,
how is it for you? Like the feeling amazing? Is it like a good body feeling you get from the tea? It's just, or awakeness, which is very nice, or what is it?
I would say like a mood lifter is one thing. Like it's just, I feel like it just brings positivity. Like it's just a mood enhancer. Energy for sure, because I understand when moms or people are like, I need my cup of coffee in the morning. Okay, well, it's going to give you like a jolt of caffeine, but you're not going to feel good later. This is just a calming, let's wake up, you know, nice and calm and not too fast. And it's just very like, all right, you know, like
slowly but surely bringing you into the day. Yeah.
And you know what it doesn't do? It doesn't, well, you don't have to drink a lot of it, you know, it's not a lot. And it's, I would always have like a weird feeling in my throat after I would drink a big thing of coffee, you know, like a rawness or something. It just didn't feel right. So when I drink the matcha, I feel so good. I can't go a day without drinking in the morning.
Nice. Yeah, maybe walk us through your morning routine. Maybe this is something you say as a personal coach or as a coach of many people of all sorts of backgrounds. You say, okay, a morning routine is really important. So maybe walk us through, and in the end, would be maybe nice to see you integrated this at a certain point in your life, and what did it change for you, and maybe what did it change for certain clients of yours, to see a little bit how important the morning routine is, because I'm still struggling to make one.
Are you? It takes a little bit, but once you do it, your body is just, it's your own alarm, and it just will get up because it wants to, you know. It takes a little bit. But I have a lot of people that question, like, what are you drinking? Where do you get it? You know, I have a lot of people that ask that because, you know, it's part of my day. But what I do is, so I actually just put it back into my bedroom, but I try and wake up before my family. So I have two kids, a 6.5 and an 8-year-old. And they get up at 6:30. So I have to get up an hour or even an hour and a half before that. If I want to have my time. So my time would include, I wake up and I drink a full glass, 10 ounces of water. And I have it sitting out already, and it's in my bathroom. So like, no excuses, I drink my water. Right next to that, I have my tea all set up. So I have the electric teapot, and I have it set at I think my thing only goes to I think it's 170, and I think the tea has to be 160, right?
Yeah, you can do 140, 165 is also good, 175 even, so.
Okay, I usually do it. Yeah. So I have that there, and I have everything to make it, and I make it, and then right next to my bathroom is where I have like my yoga mat and my personal development books. So I read positivity, you know, good vibes type books for about 20 minutes. But in that time, I'm sitting and I'm drinking my matcha and I'm reading something positive. So with my morning routine, I also do, you know, meditation, and I do yoga. And I don't do like any spiritual kind of yoga. I just do it to really lengthen my body and feel good. I have scoliosis, so I really struggle with that. So
is the bones.
It's your spine. It's
exactly.
It's the
deformed spine. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So I don't want to make any excuses. I just know that when I wake up in the morning and set an hour or more for just me, my entire day goes by smooth. If I wake up at 6:30 when my kids wake up, it's nonstop. Even even those days that I would wake up at 6:30 and I'd make my matcha, well, it'd be left in a room and then I'd go with my kids somewhere else and then I couldn't find it and I'd end up drinking it, you know? So, so I have established a routine of just getting up when no one else is and just doing my thing. And it works.
So you're getting up, you drink the water, then you start to read, or do you?
I make my tea.
Sports before. So you make your tea?
Yeah, I'll make my matcha and then I'll sit on my yoga mat and I will drink it while I'm reading.
Okay. And you read on your yoga mat?
Yes. Yep. So I sit and I have it's downstairs, but I have it's called a bolster. It's like a pillow.
Yeah.
So that you can sit nice and straight. So yeah, I sit on my yoga mat and I have a giant mirror and it's just a really nice vibe in there. And I read and I drink. And then when that's all done, about 20 minutes, that's when I'll go into yoga, stretching, whatever is feeling tight. I just loosen it up. And then I end with 10 minutes of meditation.
Oh, wow. And how long do you stretching? Are you doing the stretching, the yoga?
It all depends. I like to do at least 10 minutes. So anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. So it's not long.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's 20 minutes of reading, 10, 20 minutes of yoga, 10 minutes of meditation. And it, you know what, it's crazy because things that will annoy me, you know, something that a kid will say in the morning won't annoy me if I do this routine. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You know, on the days that you're off schedule and you didn't have the drink you wanted, you react to situations so much more different. It's crazy.
Because you kind of subconsciously prepare yourself for the stress of the day, or what is it?
You know what? It all just flows together. I don't know. Have you ever meditated before?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
Okay.
I did like for 2 weeks straight. Okay. And yeah, it's somehow I felt, but now since 4 days, I don't do it anymore. So very bad on me.
So I did, I never really enjoyed it because my mind's always just racing. They call it monkey mind. It's always just racing when I meditate. But even though that it's racing and I'm still focusing on my breathing and my body, it still works. So that blows my mind. I feel like that's amazing. Yeah. So, and it's not every single day. Well, I try to. If I don't get it in, then I'll get it in during the day. You know, sometimes I'll have a kid that'll wake up in the middle of the night and then I can't do my morning routine, but it's in my mindset.
Then you say, okay, I give myself some more sleep, or.
Right. Or you snooze and
snooze, yeah.
Yeah. And so when you snooze, when you press snooze, you're making your body even more tired from doing that. You know, you're exhausting it. But I wake up when my alarm goes off because I'm excited to wake up. I want to wake up. I want to do my morning routine because it excites me. You know, it's my time alone where no one is going to, poke at me and bug me. And it's my time. So, and it's taken a little bit. It's taken a little bit to get used to it, but it's what I recommend to all my clients. Not the ones that have babies. You know, if you have babies, young kids, you don't have a morning routine. It doesn't work, but you could still drink matcha for sure.
Okay. If you have a quiet moment, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So you said, okay, it takes some time to really get there. How long did it take you to kind of really dive into the morning routine and really kind of settle it as a real part of your day?
Right. So about 3.5 years ago, I switched to doing everything at home. I was doing everything at the gym and I switched. And I did this because my kids did not want me to leave. I had to go teach classes late at night, early in the morning. They didn't want a babysitter and they didn't want to come with me and go to daycare. So I switched. My problem is I didn't know what I was going to do because I've always done fitness and nutrition. So I found something that you can do online. You can help people press play online and, help them with nutrition, with all the technology that we have. It's possible. And my problem is I was diagnosed with an inflammatory disease And they called it ulcerative colitis, but there's no way it could have been that because that's incurable and you have it forever. I no longer have it. So I started drinking a shake called Shakeology. It's something through my company, and I did a ton of research on it. And in the Shakeology, it has a ton of superfoods and, so many things that our bodies need that we just don't get anymore on the, in the grocery stores and stuff. And so I started that. So when I started being home and doing my fitness stuff is when I had to start making it, make sense. Like, okay, wait a minute, I'm at home. When is going to be the best time for me to do this? So that's when the early morning came. Okay. So the early morning
so it was
like,
out of necessity time for yourself.
Because if I didn't, then I would be doing it with the kids running around the house, or I'd be doing it at nighttime when I would want to, that's the last thing I want to do. So I just made it. I would say it took 3 months to do the 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I spent that I started June 1st of 2017. So June, July, and August, I didn't wake up early in the morning. It was summer. But I remember September came around and my kids were going to school for a few hours a day. And I'm like, I can wake up before the kids get up and I can take care of what I need to take care of. So that's what I did. And then I found matcha, was that a year later? A year later is when
So actually you were already living your morning routine.
Yes.
But then the tea journey that started like somehow as a consequence, maybe even of the.
Yeah, because what happened was I couldn't get up in the morning and enjoy a cup of tea because I didn't, at the time I didn't know matcha. Yeah. And I didn't know, like the loose leaf, I really like it, but I had to wait. And I still do, and I still make it, and I still have it in the afternoon and stuff. But it's that morning routine of having it right then and there is what I really liked. So yeah, it took probably 3 months until the early morning thing. And now it's just part of my life. On the weekends when I stay up too late, my body still gets up early in the morning. So that's hard, but.
Yeah, I think when you get used to really a certain routine, but I think it's also with the age that you kind of adapt, that you get up so much earlier for a longer period, because when you're a teenager, you just go out and you have parties and you sleep until 12, 1 p.m. or whatever. Right. But as soon as you kind of get in the work mood or in the work life, let's say like that, you really get used to it. And the long sleeping is kind of something, at least you wake up. You maybe still can sleep long, but you at least wake up. Yeah.
Right. I need 8 hours or else I'm a mess. So.
So you go to bed really early then, like 9?
I do. Well, I do 9 to 5.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yeah. And my kids go to bed at 9, so it works for me.
Well, now the big question is, what will you do when they become teenagers?
So yeah, I think about that because I have older siblings and they're always making that excuse. Yeah, I don't know. I will always have my morning routine. I'll have that. Maybe it won't be at 5 a.m. It might be at 8 a.m., but yeah, I'll always have it just because it's a part of what's making me grow and healthy and all that.
So you yourself, you said, okay, for me, it's really kind of gives me a moment of reflection. It calms me down and kind of prepares myself for the day. Do you have clients which integrated a morning routine into their daily life and somehow like had a very different experience, or big changes for them?
I see big changes. Yeah, most of them are just more thankful, like, thankful for doing what you do, because now I'm doing the same thing. But the majority of the people, when they're asking me like, well, what are you drinking and does it have caffeine? I'm like, yes, but it's a calming caffeine. And then I try and describe my story of my body can't handle certain types of caffeine. So when you get someone that tries it, they are just amazed at how calm. And mine are mostly moms, so moms in the morning are busy, crazy, running around, but the moms that have reached out to me and I've, told them about matcha, they just can't believe a difference it makes as far as calm.
So they really kind of, because often when you start your journey into matcha, the taste is still kind of, you have to get a little bit used to it. Do you kind of guide them a little bit through and say, okay, maybe you start with matcha latte and do it like that,
Yeah.
and then slowly but surely, because eventually you will move into a pure drinking like you do it.
Right.
You do both, no? Or you only do pure?
It depends on my mood.
Yeah.
But usually it's the weekends. I sometimes will make it a latte just because it's a little later. But yes, I do let them know that it's not going to taste like coffee.
Yeah.
If you're going for that,
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily going for the taste right away. I was going for, can I have something now that I can drink that's going to make me feel good? That was my number one thing. Then I loved the taste, and it was an acquired taste. At first I was like, yeah, it's good. Now I love the taste. So those that ask me about it, I ask if they drink tea, because there is the hint, the hint of tea that you do taste. You do taste that tea part. And if people don't like tea, then I mention, you know what, make it into a little latte if you want to, add a little honey if you need to, almond milk, whatever it is, and then start minimizing that a little bit more each day. And then you'll get to a point where it tastes good like the first day you had it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes recommend bulletproof, how they call it? No, you have the bulletproof coffee, but there's also people doing actually, they're mixing matcha powder into their coffee because they still want to have the coffee taste, and they want to have the effect of the green tea, because the green tea, what is in the green tea that really calms you are the amino acids, theanine especially.
Okay.
This really calms you because it breaks through the blood-brain barrier, and there it really calms you because it triggers the alpha brain waves. That's why you feel more relaxed. And some people they add actually matcha to their coffee because they don't want to get rid of the coffee, but they want to have the effect.
No, I don't. I've heard of like the bulletproof, where don't they put like an oil in their coffee?
Yeah, butter.
Yeah. Butter.
I got it to know with butter. Yeah.
Yeah, something. I was like, ew. But no, I didn't. I know that matcha is very overused the wrong way. I feel like they think that I don't cook with it. I don't take the powder and make muffins and stuff like that. It's my morning. It's what I crave, and sometimes I'll have it in the afternoon if I need a little calming pick me up.
Yeah. I think that the calming pick-me-up thing is something which is a big advantage also of matcha or green tea in general, that you really have this kind of calming that calms you, but it picks you up, it gives you also the energy, and that's nice.
Yeah. What's weird, and I didn't know this, like the person that first described matcha to me, the one that I said was young and he just was like, knew everything about it. He said, have it before 10 a.m. if possible, but if by chance you need to have it at night, it will help you fall asleep. And I was like, no way. And it actually does. Like I had it one night, and I forget, it wasn't that long ago. I'm very cautious because I am the type of person, if I drink anything that has caffeine in it, I'm up all night long.
Yeah.
I can't even take there's some teas out there that are nighttime teas I can't drink because they have an opposite reaction. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it depends how sensitive you are to caffeine.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, but the teas that help you go to sleep make me stay up. It's weird.
Okay.
I know, it's weird. But the matcha, I can have it. I've had it a few times right before bed, and I had a really good night's sleep. So I'm like, wow, it can actually get me up and feeling good in the morning, and it can calm me down to go to bed. I don't understand, but it did.
What I sometimes did, what is kind of it's similar to matcha, but it's a leaf tea, is a gyokuro. And this tea, actually, what you can do is, or with any green tea, is that you cold brew it. So you do it with cold water, You just
I
leave it in
saw that on your stories.
overnight,
Yeah.
exactly. Either overnight, or you just leave it in for 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and then you have your tea. And actually, what happens, because the caffeine gets extracted more as soon as you cross, I think, 35 degrees Celsius. Ooh, what's that in Fahrenheit? I would say maybe 90.
Okay.
And then you have a tea which is actually having all this calming effect, because the theanine goes out even in the cold water, so you still have this highly relaxing feeling, but you have much less caffeine.
Okay.
If you have a green tea and you cold brew it, you get much less of the caffeine, and so it allows you to have it in the evening. So this could also be an option. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I think you did a post on that, right?
Yeah. In summertime, it's a big thing. Many people do it actually in summertime because it's refreshing. But this is also positive. There are some teas like the one I'm doing here. This is the Matcha with the rice.
Okay.
Roasted rice. This is with leaves which contain less caffeine. But if you want to extract less caffeine in general from your green tea, just lower the temperature of the water. The tea gets sweeter because there's more theanine, less of the bitter, like the catechins, the bitter parts, and it also lowers the caffeine. So it's also an option.
So the green teas you shouldn't boil?
You shouldn't, no.
No, okay.
But you shouldn't. You can do it, but you have to expect that it gets really bitter or strongly astringent tea, because you have the extraction of the bitter or the astringent parts, which are the catechins, these polyphenols, and they give the tea kind of this astringent taste. And the hotter you go, the more you extract them from the leaf. And you stress the tea as well, and then it gets bitter. Often farmers do this just to taste test the tea to see, okay, what's kind of the worst side of the tea, and they take boiling water and they test the tea like that. But for just enjoyment of tea, it's very good if you go down with the temperature, because you just get, the further you go down, the more you have kind of a smooth or sweet or even fruity taste, which is from the green tea.
Right. My teapot has like green, oolong, black.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't know what temperature it is when I'm doing it, but it says green tea. So
I think it's around 175, between 165 and 175. But you said before it's only going up to 170, so maybe it's 160.
So 170 is what I put it at to make the matcha.
Yeah.
But it goes to 212, is it? 212?
Yeah, 212 is like boiling water now.
Yeah. So that's what it goes to. But I just knew that when I saw one of your posts, I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to boil my green tea. Dang.
Okay. Maybe I change this.
Dang. I mean, if I am boiling a pot of water and not using my electric kettle, I was doing that with the green tea, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's there are two parts. Is either you take too hot water, so then you can get an astringent tea, or you leave it in too long, because then you also have a strong extraction of water. Because the catechins, they are in the leaves. They're gonna go into the water if you brew it too long. So it can also be that in the beginning the tea is a little bit sweeter, and it gets a little bit more astringent in the end. This is due to the fact that the theanine and the more sweeter parts, they go in first, and then the catechins, they follow in the latest. Secondary steepings. Yeah,
there's so much to know, but it's, when you're paying money for your tea, you want to make it the right way. You want the benefits to come out like they're supposed to. So
that's what we discovered too, or I discovered too. And tea is so fascinating because for me it's a little bit like wine, just without the alcohol. So it's super interesting. It's good for your body. So that's how more or less my passion came through when I discovered this is like that. It's so big and so many varieties, so many.
Oh, that's great.
Amazing, yeah.
I wish I knew. I mean, I get all of my teas. I do all the loose leaf, and I have a lot of them, and I get them in mixes. Like they custom make it. So like I don't just get a certain type of green tea. I actually get it made with other things. So like that turmeric bliss that I got. And then there's one called Immunity, and it's the girl at the tea store, she is a nurse But she specializes in holistic health. So she
Okay,
makes these tea combinations and gives them names. So like, do you know that brand, the brand Yogi that has the bag tea? It's the boxes that are at the store.
Yogi tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get you by putting a label on it saying, you know, skinny tea or energy tea, you know, like they get you by looking at the names. So the lady at the tea store, she's making these and, you know, putting a name on it, like immunity or kids tea or women's tea or something.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have more knowledge on it and know exactly what leaves I like, because I don't know. I just know the mixes and stuff, you know.
Does she
But I
tell you
still,
then about the tea, why she calls it this way or that way?
you know what? I haven't seen them in so long because of the whole COVID thing. So I
Yeah.
don't go in there anymore. And I used to go in and sit and have conversations with them because I absolutely loved it. But I don't anymore. So she more does it when people come in for a request, like how I have this wrong with me. What can help with that? So then she would get an idea and put a combination together, and then she would name it something, and she would make batches of it and sell it.
Super interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of where she started. The turmeric bliss is something that they started a long time ago, and they just sell out every time they get it because it is it's very powerful. I mean, you feel I have it after my workout because it's just very good for hydration and stuff, but it's just it tastes amazing. It has a little bit of peppercorn in it, and it's just it tastes really good. So
and it's
but
super,
I'd like to get more knowledge.
Anti-inflammatory, no? Turmeric, no?
Yes, and ginger.
And ginger.
So, yeah.
Is a mix. It's a mix as well. With ginger is also in there.
Yep.
Or do you mix it in?
No, it's in there.
Okay.
It's in there. No, I don't put anything in it. And I think that's I don't want to do any work, you know, just give me the tea and I'll make it and then drink it. I can't put anything extra in it because then that's too much work.
That's true. That's a little bit what people is what tea, or sometimes the tea is holding off people of becoming a tea fan. It's just the complexity of it, and that they always think they do it right, and that's oh, they do it wrong, and that's a little bit this fear of doing it wrong that holds up people a little bit off. That's why we also do these videos, to really show how easy it is actually to do tea.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that you guys do that. I used to do a lot more. I should go back to, you know, showing people how to do that, because it is so much easier to just put a bag in a cup, you know, to some people. But if they only knew that all you're doing is just you're taking a teaspoon of leaves and doing the same thing, like, you know, you just you just have a certain cup that you have to use, you know. But yeah, I used to do a lot of like educating with that because I felt so powerful about it, you know, because it just makes you feel so good. And I used to have like tea time with Sarah, where I would do like show people what I was having or what I bought at the tea store.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, and it was fun, and people would love it.
Yeah. Did you put it on Instagram in the beginning when you started?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
I think it was my stories. Yep. And that I think is before matcha, because then, so I have my matcha every morning. You know what? It's the time of year now that I'll start to make those teas again. Because in the summer, hot tea, you know, it just isn't for me. And I didn't get your cold brew video till like last month. And I was like, oh, I could have been making this all summer. That's awesome. So
maybe we posted it too late.
I might have seen it late. I don't know. I might have.
Yeah.
But so are you, so do you work for the company, Neo?
Yes and no. Yes, I do work, but it's not my full-time work. So it's kind of something we started on the side. Well, we have Will, more or less it's Will, Agnès, and myself. Agnès is living in Japan, Will is living in the US, and I'm living in Europe. And we kind of try to put together the whole company. Will is working full-time, Agnès is part-time, and I do what I can. And I try to help on the finances by earning money and giving it to the company. So
right.
That's how we started, and that's how we're doing it at the moment. But I must say, it works really well. And COVID, for e-commerce companies especially, was I think a good time.
Right. What does Neo mean?
Neo is actually, it's the guardian of the temple in Japan, holding all the bad spirits of the temple.
Oh, okay.
And it is said that these are kind of a little bit monster-looking creatures. They're always outside a temple when if you're in Japan, when you have the chance to go there. Highly recommended. There are two figures normally on the left and the right, and these are called Neo, and they are protecting the temple from bad spirits. That spirits cannot enter into the holy place. And it is also said that they accompanied the Buddha when he traveled through India. So they were kind of these lifeguards in these. And then I was like, yeah, so actually what green tea does, it's the same. It heals you from the inside, makes you stronger, and fends off any whatever fever, whatever you have. And then I thought, actually, that's a cool name for a company. And then that's how we made it.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Because I think you started, did you start a couple years ago?
Yeah, we started 2016.
Okay.
So 2016, so 2015, I went to Japan to travel around with my girlfriend by the time. And she was actually a big green tea fan, because she went in 2011 to Japan and with her best friend, and she kind of caught the bug of green tea, drinking green tea daily. And then she came back and she was always drinking green tea. And then I started to drink with her, and I was like, oh, this is quite interesting. And I started to go to tea places, tea stores, and I always was a little bit disappointed by, they knew a little bit about the tea, but not too much. It's like, what's the difference between this? Yeah, this is just a premium and this less premium. It's like, yeah, okay. Doesn't help me very much. Thank you very much. And then I was like, okay, there are so many names and so many things attached to it. So I really want to discover it. And then we went to Japan. I went to a farmer. They're called Obubu Tea Farm. They're quite known.
Okay.
Tea, kind of in the tea scene, because they do kind of internships, and they really explain you what the different teas are. And by the time I was only interested in matcha, but then somehow I kind of navigated through the whole green tea. And I had a friend, he lived and did his PhD and still lives in Japan. And he said, yeah, okay, if you want to do something, I'm happy to help you. And that's how we started. And then in 2016, I got my first order from Ububu by the time, non-organic at the moment, or at the time. And then I started to sell, and I kind of liked it. And then somehow I got to know Will over Instagram. And let's do something. And in which direction should we go? And then we just build it up from there. And we, especially I think in the last 6 to 8 months, it really picked up. But we are doing it since, so really professional, like regularly. I would say we started in early 2018, so 2 years now. We're really pushing it.
Yeah, it's awesome. You guys, your page is really growing too. That's great.
Yeah, at the moment it's good. It's good. Yeah, we're very happy, and we were able now to establish also a warehouse in the US, so we don't have the problems anymore. Because with COVID, all the kind of the postal service, international postal service, was down.
Oh, okay. So you do have.
Yeah, we're. Yeah, now things are good, and now we can also go back, because it was a struggle during COVID, because it was super hard to get the tea to the US.
Yeah.
But now we kind of get a more kind of, the rough water period might be a little bit over, and we can really concentrate again on content like this, what we do here, and you talk a little bit about your experiences, where we really want to show people kind of the easy entrance into tea. And maybe somebody says, okay, I really do not care too much about the taste. I just want to eat something which is good for my body. And then your explanation, what you just gave, could be a super interesting point for them to start, and then to try it out and see what they can do with it.
Right. I mean, it's taking the, people think it's so complex. It's taking that out of their heads,
Mhm.
you know, and just enjoying the process. You know, if I didn't go into that tea store and they didn't show me, like if I would have seen it, you know, on Amazon or something, if I was looking to get a matcha set, I would have no idea what to do with it.
Mhm.
But, you know, when people can watch your stories and stuff and see and know that it's not hard and it can be enjoying, like part of a daily routine like mine. And I look forward
Exactly.
to it. Like, don't bother me when I'm drinking my matcha. Like,
Yeah.
no one comes by mom. This is her time.
Do they
And
know
I
it?
like,
Mom, you
I
drinking your matcha? Yes, I am.
yeah.
Okay, I'll come back later.
You know, and it's funny because my kids will see stuff like there is a show called Let's Go Luna. It's on like it's called PBS here in the United States, but it's called Let's Go Luna, and it's the sun traveling around with you and just showing you parts of the world. And they are in Japan, and they were showing matcha. And
Yeah.
so that is where they were talking about is it the chawan?
Yeah.
Okay. They were talking about how it's made and how it's imperfect because life can't, you know, life isn't perfect. And I'm sitting there watching this with my kids like, like, oh my gosh, I drink this every day. And I'm learning what this kid's show is telling me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
nice.
really neat. And then the other day, I don't know if you know anything about Karate Kid, the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So Karate Kid is from like the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's what I watched when I was a kid. Well, anyway, we watched part 2 and it was taken in Japan. And I completely forgot about this because I haven't seen it in like 20 years. They had a little matcha ceremony that the girl gave to the Karate Kid, and she made the little matcha thing. And I was like, oh. And so I start seeing this stuff, and which has been around forever. And now so many people, well, I think now, what time is it? Okay. I got like 5 more minutes and then I got to go pick up my kids. But I think now with COVID hitting and people, you know, being depressed and sad and lonely, whatever it may be, I think they're turning to holistic ways of healing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the tea is, I mean, that's huge. Like I said, I started 20 years ago drinking tea, you know, with the bag, because coffee made me feel so yucky.
Yeah.
And I love, like I said, I love the smell of it. I love coffee. I just can't have it. But yeah, if there's anything that I can help you with, you know, just give, you know, shout out. I like to mention it every day because it's just a part of my day.
Thanks a lot. Thanks so much.
Yeah. And I would like to go back to Tea Times with Sarah. I kind of forgot about that, but it's just showing people how to brew tea, and it's not that hard, you know, like, oh gosh, if I go to my parents' house and the way that they make their coffee and tea, I'm like, oh, stop. But even like my sister, she lives 4 doors down the road, she'll take her cup of water and put it in the microwave, and I'm like,
no,
I don't even own a microwave. I don't cook that way. But I'm like, no.
Super American, no, that you're heating everything with the microwave, no?
Not me. My kids don't even know what it is. My kids don't even know what McDonald's is.
Oh, so you're a good mom.
They don't know any of that. They know what matcha is. They know what yoga is. They know what exercise is. They know all that stuff. So
good.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. They will discover everything.
So you ship from the US now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, awesome. Because I know people have asked and stuff like, where do I get it and stuff. And at the time, I know it was coming from Japan. And so now it's just because that's why the last time I got something, it was fast. Okay.
That's why.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely let people know that for sure.
Yeah, thanks a lot to you. Amazing. And maybe we should have once a session, tea with Sarah, and then we just make a tea together and we just talk about it.
Oh, I would love it.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd like to get a little more outside my comfort zone. You know, like I know the matcha that I like. I think there were 2 different ones that I received. But I would like to
go a little more into leaf tea.
Yeah. You know, and like I said, I only know it by, you know, what the name is and the mix, like, you know, mixed with goji berries and all the fun stuff. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. you know? So, yeah, if you can recommend anything, let me know, because I will be placing an order in the next week. And
Okay.
I want to get some more
But
matcha.
maybe
And
maybe
then,
maybe go for one of our samplers. Then you have several
oh,
teas, and well, we have the mega sampler if you really want to have the whole spectrum. But we also have smaller ones like deep steam tea. These are longer steam. Could be interesting for you because they're a little bit more brittle, so you drink more of the leaf. Goes a little bit in the
okay,
direction of matcha, but it's clearly a leaf tea.
okay,
Or we have sencha sampler as well. So
okay.
different senchas, 9 different senchas. So maybe one of these could be a good introduction. And then we take one tea and we just make a session and then we brew it together.
Yeah, that's
Why not?
awesome. Now, is it all green?
It's all green. If you go for the mega sample, you also have roasted teas in it.
Okay. So does
And
it
matchas.
say like how
How to brew
what
it.
temperature you brew it at?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
We have now labels where everything is written on. So
Oh, okay.
we
That's
changed.
awesome. Well, that's awesome, because then I can show people like how easy it is, you know,
Yeah.
like this is all you do, you know. People are so afraid to make tea,
Yeah.
and you know, going into the Starbucks line and all that, I don't do any of that. But if they only knew, like, I remember seeing this. I was getting my nails done like last year,
Yeah.
and someone ordered a venti matcha latte or whatever
Mhm.
with 6 scoops of matcha.
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
crazy. It's
seeing it.
in Starbucks. It's like they do it like.
What kind of matcha are they? I mean, I saw it on the side of his cup, 6 scoops. I was like, I didn't say anything because I'm like, what? Do you really think that's really matcha that's going to be in your cup? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm always like astonished. And sometimes I tried today, to be honest with you, I did have a Starbucks matcha
Yeah.
latte, but the taste is really different. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. It might be the ice and the water that they use. You know, it's just,
Yeah.
it's odd, you know, and I can't get it. Like, I love, do you guys have is Trader Joe's United States? Trader Joe's? It's a grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
All
we
right.
are
I
there.
love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think it's German based, isn't it?
Okay. We don't have it in Europe, or at least not in Switzerland.
Okay. It's just it's a grocery store where it's not labeled, you know, it doesn't have, you don't have to have Heinz ketchup or like a label. It's just better ingredients and better made and quality
Okay. Yeah.
and stuff. But I won't even get my matcha there. You know, like it has to come from a good source, because I want to feel good when I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
You know, and I know because of the shakes that I drink, I know what can be put in them, and you know, for other shakes, what can be put in them in place of the right stuff. So who knows if you're buying a bag of matcha, if it's pencil shavings, you know, like you got to have a good source. And that's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. So yeah. So anything I can do to help you guys out, you just let me know.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Definitely. And let's have this tea with Sarah session.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That will be great.
Yeah, for sure. Just hook me up on Instagram, and I'm actually gonna go make a cup right now.
Good. Okay. So
All right.
thanks a
Well,
lot
so
for taking
nice
the
to
time,
meet you.
Sarah, and
Yeah.
have a great day. And hopefully talk to you soon.
Yeah. Awesome. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.